Hey folks, Russ Bailey here. It's time for another video podcast here on BrushPile Fishing. We're doing this one live from beautiful Dale Hollow. It's the middle of May. Weather is beautiful. We actually had a little cold front. But I want to talk today with my good friend Denny Wilbert. We're going to talk about his marinas. We're going to talk about the bluegill and red ear fishing. So you stay tuned. We'll be right back with BrushPile Fishing. All right, folks. Hey, welcome back. As you can see, we're lounging on the porch, one of the cabins here at Cedar Hill. Denny, we had an outstanding, actually yesterday afternoon, we got here, we had about an hour's daylight. We went out and then we finished the show this morning. Man, he has been telling me, folks, about these bluegills and red ears for about 2 years, but with his schedule in mind, we couldn't get things put together. 2 weeks ago, you tell me, it's on fire, get down here. And typical for brush pile fishing. Tell the folks what happened.
Well, we were out pre-fishing Wednesday and catching 2-pound red ear, big bluegill, just one after another, just letting them go. So I'm saving these for Russ. Come back, and the next night it started raining. We got 6 inches of rain. Lake went up 6 feet. And it
6 feet, folks.
6 feet, yeah. So pushed everything crazy, and we just had to go re-find them, but we found them again close to home, and boy, we put the hurt on them.
I'll tell you what, we started yesterday evening actually, and we when we got here it was about 64 degrees, so it had cooled off, but Denny said, hey, we'll still catch some. We're throwing just simple rigs. Denny, tell them about the rig that we use.
It was very simple. It was the TCB, now known as the TCB RE for red ear.
Absolutely.
And 4-pound test, a little number 4 Aberdeen hook, and a little bitty split shot. We put a big chunk of night crawler on it and then lay a red ear on the end for the teaser. They could not resist it.
And folks, you know, most of the time I'm doing any casting or jig fishing, I love using my signature series. I'll be honest, this is the first time I used the TCB, and that thing, if there was ever a rod made for bluegill and red ear fishing, as he says, the RE edition now, this was it, man, because you can feel everything. But man, you talk about enjoying the fight when these things hit. They're tiny smallmouth is what they are.
They are. They hit like a smallmouth. They fight like a smallmouth, and they eat awful good.
So folks, if you're planning a trip down here and you want to target these fish, Denny, we were in anywhere from 8 to about 13
foot, yeah.
13 foot of water. And we're just throwing that little split shot rig with that light hook out there and letting it drop over these beds. And you said, Denny, even now, you know, we're halfway through May, but keep an eye on that full moon because they're going to keep coming back on the beds.
They'll do minor spawns for the next 3 months during the summertime, and then in the same bedding areas.
We talked about one of the things that you look for. Of course, in the spring, you're like everybody else, getting them crappie when they're up shallow. But you said the key for you is what? Water temperature?
Yeah, it gets at 72 is the magic number. I mean, they're just going nuts.
We were at 70 last night. It cooled off. It was about 45 degrees this morning, and I think the water temperature we fished today was about 68.
Yeah.
So it's right there. These things are going to bust loose in the next couple of weeks, especially if you get some stable weather patterns.
Yeah.
So, but Denny, I wanted to talk about that, but also I want to talk about the marina business, how you got into it. And folks, it started with the promise to his mom when he was 10 years old. Tell the folks about that.
Yeah, we started coming here when I was 6 years old. That was 1964. I'm old. We'd come down here. My dad had worked at Ford, so we came down during the shutdowns, and we'd stay in the Cedar Hill cabins, and we eventually stayed on the Cedar Hill houseboats, and we were just having such a great time. And I just told son, Mama, I'm going to buy this marina for you someday. And a long time, and a lot of work, a lot of stories. Got fortunate to buy this thing and rebuild it and put it back to the great glory that it deserves.
I'll tell you what, Denny owns, of course, Cedar Hill. He also owns Dale Hollow Marina. And when you see the television show we did, in the opening, I refer to him as the hardest working man in Tennessee. I'm not joking about that. Every single time we come down for a media camp or to do a show, this man is busting his tail around here from sun up to sundown. And the reason he does that, he wants his place to be the best on the lake, but he also wants to make sure when you come down, you enjoy it. And Denny, you keep telling me, though, Man, Russ, one more year, and I'm gonna take it easy and fish all the time. Well, I haven't seen that year yet.
It's one more year. One more year.
Denny, tell the folks, not just do you have the cabins, but what are some of the other things you have to offer?
We've got awfully cabins. We have a great floating cabin, and I think that's the future, is building some more floating cabins. We have houseboats. We have hotel rooms. We have little fishing cabins. It's just like a open area with 2 beds, a bathroom, the kitchen. They're really popular. Pontoons. We got fishing boats, houseboats. Anything you need to enjoy the lake, we've got it.
And folks, it's a year-round fishery. The walleye fishing is great here. Of course, Dale Hollow, known for the smallmouth. You were telling me about a stringer that was weighed in just, last week?
The last fishing tournament, they had the major tournament. I won't say it, but the guy caught 100 pounds of fish in one day. In one spot, never moved the spot, caught 100 pounds.
So there's a few decent smallmouth down here. But the other thing is, if you want to do, it doesn't matter if it's summer. If you look, we did a show with Corey Thomas, middle of summer, hotter than snot out, and we caught some really nice black crappie. And you've got 2 of the greatest guides on this lake, too, going out of here.
Yeah, we do.
Corey Thomas, Preston Cleary. We'll probably flash your information up here. But Denny, let me ask you this. Now, here's the only one, the downfall. And folks, here's the thing. Across the nation, you're starting to see more and more resorts like this being bought out by corporate companies. You're one of the last family-owned, and that's a plus and it's a minus. The plus is people respect that, and you've got the same customers coming back year after year.
Yeah.
Denny, is there any time people, because I know you're booked solid, is there any time people cancel and you get a cancellation
Yeah, we
list?
have a cancellation list, and we start taking reservations in January. So if you want to get something, we have some that book years in advance, but best time is start calling early January for the time you want with a houseboat or a cabin, and we can get you in. During the late fall and the early spring, where cabins are open, and we have a lot of fishermen here, and so just I beg you to come down here and share what we have, because it's spectacular.
It's beautiful, and like I say, this man will take care of you, him and his staff. Folks, if you want references, check out some of the guys that's been to our Crappie Academy down here. Ask them. Don't even, we'll give you their number, see what they have to say, because you just can't get a better place to stay. And Denny, right now, I notice you're doing a lot of work. You had some storm damage.
Yeah, Mother Nature gave us a good hit over at Dale Hollow and tore up some of our older docks, so we decided to start over with that and go rebuild it, and we're in our final stages of that. And I keep saying this is the last year for construction. Last year.
Just like you're going to retire.
Unless Mother Nature says different. But we think we've got it built to take most anything that she throws at us, so cross your fingers, because I like to fish.
Well, folks, I really wanted to do this podcast, introduce you to Denny. Again, check out Dale Hollow. Go to the website. Check out the Facebook page. Check out our Facebook page or our shows that we've done down here. If you come down here once, the only problem is you're hooked, and you'll be down here several times after that. So, Denny, I appreciate you joining us, my
Always
friend.
good having you, sir.
All right, Cedar Hill Marina, Dale Hollow Marina. Give Denny and his crew a call. They'd love to have you down there, and it's something that you'll definitely love. The new BrushPile Fishing Show companion app will change the way you watch a show, but more importantly, it will change the way you educate yourself on crappie fishing. This is so much more than just an app. It will be your go-to source for weather, BrushPile fishing shows, crappie fishing tips, and your own handheld logbook. There will also be contact information for guides from past episodes, special offers from our sponsors, and tips that range from simple to advanced. Download the new BrushPile Fishing Companion app. It's free for Android and Apple users. It's everything a crappie angler needs. Make sure you check that out. Folks, before we wrap this podcast up, I want to remind you, if you don't have the BrushPile app, make sure you get that. It's not something we're trying to sell you. It's absolutely free. Whether you have an Android phone, an Apple phone, doesn't matter. Go to your app store and get the BrushPile app. It's got so many great features. If you keep a fishing log, I used to do that by hand. Everything you need to do now is in the app. It keeps it on your phone. If you see a guide that we've done a show with and you think, man, I'd like to book with him, you can do that through the guide section. Weather, wherever you're going to fish, check it out. The weather report will be on the app. It's just a great app to have for any fisherman, completely free. It's the BrushPile app.